I'm Andrew. I'm the SVP of Customer Experience here. I'm so glad to be joined here in Sydney with Borja, one of our great partners at the Mandarin Oriental Ritz. So Borja, please tell us about your role in the Clay Door, and then also tell us a little bit about your hotel and how you use Alliants today.
Well, as you said, Andrew, it's a pleasure to be here with you and to be here in Sydney. My name is Borja Martin. I'm the president of Le Clay Door Spain, of the Spanish section of Le Clay Door, and I work as you said, at the Mandarin Oriental Ritz, Madrid, as a chef concierge. And we do work, as you know, with Alliants. We are really happy with the tool, and let's hope that we can chat a little bit about that.
So how does it feel? So last year you obviously hosted the 69th Clay Door Congress in your hometown of Madrid with your section as president. Tell us a little bit how that experience is, and how does it feel being here in Sydney now, not having that pressure of the journey?
Well, the fact that you take the decision with your section to apply to host a congress, let's say it's a 2 years road where you work with local venues to prepare it, and once you are there, it's like unbelievable what really brings you to your profession, to your city. And the year after, where we are now, is where you really see that this is your legacy to your profession, to your concierge world, because as you know, it's not a profession, it's a lifestyle, concierge. And it really, for your members and for your section, it's really important, the connection that you have made thanks to the organization of the Congress, and also the level of commitment from your let's say tourism institutions with the concierge and with the association. So let's say that it's a hard work for a couple of years, but then you see that you have do something great for your destiny, for your profession. And we are now here in Sydney just enjoying and helping as far as we can. But really happy.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. And then you've now been using Alliants and the concierge solution and the mobile app and the chat with the guest now for about 2 years, I think. So how's that been going for you? How have you found that is it helping? Is it making the customer experience different? Is there anything you've seen in that journey that you've gone, oh, I don't think we'd sort of see the guests using that or interacting with that at all?
Well, this was something that was necessary, 100%. Because nowadays the concierge profession has changed, and now we got the desk concierge, but we got the back office concierge, and we really need to be in touch with the guest with these tools. And for us, it has been really necessary and really useful. You know, always there's a process when you get used to it, a new tool. But nowadays, my team and myself, we are really excited with how we can connect with the guest, but also keep the guest informed, update, and that's something that we try to do with other tools, but now with Alliants, let's say that they bring all together. So we need to thank you.
No, it's a pleasure. Are there any pieces that you use within the platform that you're like, oh, you know what, this actually saves me time, or it's something that you hadn't really used before within the sort of applications that you've previously used?
Well, we used to have kind of itineraries, but printed itineraries or PDF itineraries that we share with our guests. But then now with the link, that's quite interesting, because when we share with the guest a link, they will have a live itinerary. So any update, if a guest comes to you and say, listen, we are going to be 4 people for the tour instead of 3, or cancel this reservation of the restaurant, and put automatically gets update on the link that the guest receives, so he can check day by day all the itinerary, all the different arrangements we made for them. So instead of having us to send him an update, itinerary every time that we made a change. Well, our guests, it's normal, no? They change their decisions, and so that's quite interesting, the itinerary, the link. No?
Yeah. I remember when I was working on the concierge desk many years ago, every time that you had the standards and you had a confirmation, you had to send that up with the bellman. So I think that's been the interesting thing for us, at least, to see the change in the standards? Because now I believe the standards require you to send that sort of all the confirmed activities multiple times. Do you find that saves you time? Is it sort of beneficial in achieving those standards as well for you?
100%. I mean, it's in both sides. I mean, we are working less because we have to do it one time and then just keep it update. And the guest is not getting annoyed with a lot of emails or a lot of papers to the room with the confirmations. You just send the itinerary pre-arrival or at the check-in as well. And well, any change, I mean, we are in touch. So it's definitely good for all of us. No?
So we're here, obviously, in Sydney, and this year, one of the sort of main principles of the Education Day is talking about the indispensable concierge. Now, obviously, having been a concierge for many years, what do you believe are those skills and those tools that actually make you the indispensable concierge?
Well, and nowadays we all talk about IA. It's and how could impact to our profession, and it's interesting because I think this happened with us, like with Google, for example, 15, 20 years ago, and everybody said, "Listen, the concierge will disappear because everybody with Google now can check everything." No, this is another tool that we should use, same as IA, and that we can definitely use, and we use. My team use it. I mean, to let's say. Have an idea or have some kind of arrangements you would like to share with a guest, and maybe give the better form as possible with IA, but not to use it as an answer. You know? And this is a big challenge, but let's say that young generations of concierges, they're used to IA, they live, they grow with IA, and we are, let's say, doing a great connection between this new tools and the base that we used to have. Going back to your answer, that is that the concierge should have this knowledge of the destiny. IA can know many things, but not all of them. And we got connections to get a table when there's no available table. IA cannot do that, never. And we can call the manager of the museum and they will open me the back door. IA will never do that. So, and definitely this should be a connection with the venues, a connection with the city, and always, in friendship, because as our logo motto says. And I think this is quite important, no? To love, passion, love for your profession, but as well love for your destiny, and get in touch with it. And we don't work 8 hours, as you know. Concierge work 24 hours because we're always investigating, but we also should attend. Although sometimes it's hard, after your 8 or 10 hour shift, you should attend to a place where they're presenting a new exhibition, a new bar opening. And sometimes, believe me, we prefer to have this beer at home, but we go there because we need to make that contact. That's the power of the concierge.
And I love how you sort of tie that into the Google sort of journey, where you'd get the guests coming, here's the top 10 list. And it's that knowledge and insight that you have as a concierge that you can refer to, oh, actually you shouldn't go there, or actually this is what you want to do, or these are the dishes that you want to eat. And you talked there about the sort of human connection with the hostesses and the hosts and the managers and the maitre d's. And I think that's the critical piece, that you're right, sort of AI can augment the functional requirements, but there's a level there in regards to the relationship. And I think that leads us into a really good sort of piece is when you talk about AI and that relationship, your itineraries aren't always just in Madrid and with colleagues in your local section. Sometimes they're with sections across there. You know, have you seen any really good use cases in how that network of the Clay Door, especially nowadays with the sort of guests traveling so far, has really come together into delivering the unexpected?
Well, I would say that almost every week. This is, the networking that we create with Le Clay Door. It's quite important because our guests, as you said, they are not only traveling to Madrid, my city. After Madrid, they're going to Paris or to London, to Bangkok or to Buenos Aires. And they definitely ask you, because they know what this cross keys means. If you have a contact there, would it be possible for you to arrange for a transfer or a guide or a Michelin star restaurant? That probably Borja can get that in Madrid, but never in New York, in Paris or in Bangkok, no. But that's why we got this connection, and the Borja from New York, from Paris, or from London can get that for me, for my guest. And I receive every week requests from concierges all over the world who needs my assistance to get something in Madrid. And I said, but your guest is not staying in my hotel. Okay, I don't care. No problem. I will help you anyway. And this is what really makes us stronger. One concierge, it's fine, but a full association, it's the power.
Yeah, and I think that's something we've seen in some of the data, is that power of that network. And actually, we've looked through a lot of the information, the data that we've seen, and the clay door concierge is generally doing 3 times more bookings with a guest on the concierge and the activities, and generally higher revenue as well, because I think there's that symbol of quality and the assurance in there with the clay door, which is fantastic to sort of see. And it's great to be able to now pull that data together and be able to sort of show the value of concierge, because we talk the return on concierge, right? And we talked about it in Bali, I think. So it's great to now see the utilization of the platform. Where would you love to see the use of technology in concierge going in the future?
Well, it's true that for us, for concierge, it's a part of our journey is to be face to face with a guest, and unfortunately we are losing this, because guests, as we spoke on the last year, guests take a seat in front of you having a coffee and start to chat, no? But, so maybe another future option would be like a kind of connection with camera with the guests, because sometimes they still need to see a face. And I'm not talking when they are in the house. That would be, quite complicated. But before, no, they nowadays they contact us with mounts, with weeks ahead, and they start conversations, chat conversations. It's not an email. It's not a formal email where you send options and they get you. No, it's a chat. A chat for weeks. And maybe in the future they will say, listen, I need to see your face and I need to make you a few questions face to face. So that's an idea.
Yeah, it's really interesting. You talk about the chat, and I've been doing the chat stuff for several years, and 8 years or so. What's really interesting, I find, is that training of colleagues and employees of actually it's a completely different way of interacting and speaking. It's a very familial place, and we're all used to dealing with it in our family. Have you found sort of delivering that style of service in that sort of experience for yourself?
We do in fact train the new members of our teams on how to deal with these chats compared to an email, because the email is quite formal language, but the chat, even the guests expect something more friendly, something more relaxed, something more fast. But of course, no slang, no short words, that kind of thing. So we train the team on how be, closer by chat than an email. But listen, till here, there's a line. No, but and also, the guests teach you how to talk to each guest. It's the same as at the desk. You just make this non-verbal language, understand what kind of guest is typing you, and then get as close as possible, of course, with this invisible barrier line. Don't cross it, but it's interesting. We are still learning, to be honest.
So one question, or I'd love to ask, is because you're speaking to so many guests and you're seeing so many guests, we hear people talk about the use of technology, and people are like, oh no, older guests don't want to use that. Do you see that sort of behavior? Do you see different ways that guests want to react? Or are you surprised sometimes they're going like, oh, I didn't think they would like to sort of interact like
Not at all. Let's say nowadays everybody has a few email accounts, few WhatsApp or any kind of chats. Teams, they use several tools related to technology, not only professionally, but personally. So it means that when you ask a guest, would you like me to send you a link with your itinerary? So you, of course, it's kind of, even at the desk, when we talk to them, nowadays nobody wants paper, which is good. We don't offer it. We offer it as a second option. But I would say 99% of the people are digitalized. This is present, not future.
Yeah, I suppose it kind of gives you the concierge in your pocket now as well. So actually have always got you available. Like, do you find you get to engage with more guests now because you're able to always be connected with them versus them having to come to the desk?
In fact, the good point is that we should be now proactive offering it, because sometimes the guests arrive, although we send them this pre-arrival, the links, whatever, they don't open it at all because they are traveling leisure or by business, and when they checked in, where's the concierge? They come to the desk and you said, you know that we can use this platform to, oh my God, really? I mean, so we use it, we offer it proactively. And then, I mean, when they are lost in the city, they chat with you. Where can I have a beer? Where can I have lunch? You know? So it's definitely to have, as you said, the concierge in your pocket. Interesting. And also all the information we can share with them once they enter to the chat. So that's quite interesting.
I remember when we first launched messaging with guests in hotels, and it was about 2016, and it was when I was at Four Seasons, and the first engagement we had was actually a glitch, and it was like the guests not getting something that they wanted. Really interesting use case, but what was most interesting is after that interaction on text, they actually came down to the front desk to thank the person for that. Have you had any examples of that where that kind of interaction digitally has kind of manifested into someone arriving at the hotel and being like, Borja, like that's who I want to sort of speak to? Have you seen any of those connections generated through that at all?
Well, I mean, almost every day, because I mean, we got guests that they, for example, wants to set a bouquet of flowers for their arrival, and we send them, I mean, 10 different pictures, and they start to chat. No, they change the color. I'm talking about flowers. I can talk about minivans, helicopters, or whatever. So the chat gives you the opportunity also to share with them a lot of links, a lot of pictures, and then you start a conversation which is more friendly than the email. Yeah. Because with the email, let's say, okay, you can share a lot of information, but you send an email, the next day they answer. With the chat, is pop. And what is for me quite interesting is that the back office concierge position that we started a few years ago was to answer emails, to that kind of paperwork and that stuff. Now it's all being absorbed by the chat. Honestly, which is good.
Does that back office concierge role now allow your team at the front to kind of stay more focused on the guest sort of experience because they can kind of consolidate all of the pieces at the back? Because I remember when I was on the desk, you're on the phone, you're on an email, you're kind of then trying to deal with the guest in there. Have you found that has sort of helped improve that experience in physical experience for your team?
Definitely. The fact that let's say the senior concierges, they are more used to talk at the desk, and the young concierges, they love to chat and they love to open 4 screens at the same time and start working. Makes you as a manager to understand which are the priorities or which are, let's say, the best skills of each of them. And make them, work on the best position for the guest, thinking of the guest, right? That doesn't mean that they all should do everything, because sometimes we still have the phone, the email, and the chat, because sometimes we are overloaded by emails or by chat or by telephone or by desk, no? But it's interesting that now we got, let's say, on the concierge department, we got specialty concierges. More focus on mezzanine, where we call mezzanine the back office, or at the desk, and they are all mixed, but with defined tools. No?
I find one of the pieces that we did with the platform originally was make sure that everyone had visibility across the hotel. Do you find that you're starting to see the front office team or, the housekeeping team sort of more involved in it, so you can kind of get visibility of their sort of experience with the guests as well? Do you find that they learn from the concierge as well from that sort of experience?
We all learn from each other, that's clear. But it's true that now the digital connection between departments makes a better understanding of what the other departments are doing. Because before that, sometimes we didn't share information. We didn't have, let's say, a written a written request and answer, and it was just a telephone call at a certain moment. And now, I mean, you understand better because you have this conversation, and definitely they are now understanding why a concierge is always busy.
Yeah, yeah.
For example.
Yeah, and always last minute. I think that's the interesting thing. You see those requests and how quickly they come in, sort of, and you know, a lot of the restaurants, for instance, are within one or on the day of, like, so they're very short notice, which is really interesting. You talk about that proactive nature, because actually then that gives us more ability to deliver on that experience of the guest. So being more proactive, making sure the guest is coming and being able to enable them. So what would you like to see the guests do more in that sort of scenario? Do you want to share more of the content through there as well, so that they can pre-plan and not come to you with Google lists?
Well, we used to be a filter for Google, and we still we still do. With IA, it's exactly the same, because they got or sometimes now what they really expect is that they have some previous information, but it would be great that we are proactive and we are starting and doing. I mean, sharing previous information before they ask. With the pre-arrivals, for example, not only in Mandarin Oriental, many companies nowadays, they send a pre-arrival maybe from reservations department or from guest relations to the VIPs, but where there is a link to the concierge tips of what is going to happen during their stay. It's not a general, so it's something a bit tailor-made, no? And then if we get the opportunity, is when concierge enter and focus on their preferences.
Yeah, I think that was always, for me, the sort of vision that we had with the recommends and the exploring the locals. That exact example is, this is what's happening in my city now, and who to speak to as well, which concierges, because you all have different passions. And I think that's the interesting thing, is the concierge desk is that patchwork quilt of different, you know, experiences, interests and preferences that you can then sort of bring to your guests and everything. I'd love to see us work closer on pushing that more, sort of that experience and that insider knowledge. For me, the concierge was always the original influencer. So I think there's some huge opportunities there for that experience.
100%. No, and in fact, filters, I mean, for if the guests have the option maybe of filters of culture, gastronomy, and then they can get the information, I mean, with their own filters. No? So the questions that concierge would do to a guest to guide them, maybe, I mean, could be interesting to have this kind of filters within the tools, no? But of course, always leaving a space for the concierge, because the filters can take you to the wrong place.
Yeah, it's finding that expert knowledge that can kind of, oh, this is what you want to do, or that's the journey you want to take. I think that's always the interesting piece, those things that aren't in the guidebooks, that the concierge can say, oh, this is where you want to go exactly, and this is where to grab that coffee in obviously your city. We
did some kind of funny test with IA. So you ask IA, can you please tell me the 3 best coffee shops, for example, you said the 3 best tortilla de patata, or the 3 best jamón in Madrid. I mean, the answer is crazy. Then ask a concierge, and you can go to the 3 places IA is recommending and the 3 that the concierge is recommending, and you will feel the difference. So that's why we think that IA could be useful at some point, but we are still the filter of the quality, and also, of course, the people who can get something that not many people can do.
Yeah, I think that's where I see the huge opportunity here, is especially with AI, is how do you take that sort of learning from what you already deliver on the guests and all the different segments that you have, because you do that. But we should definitely do that as a test of going out and let's take the AI concierge route and let's take the concierge route and we should rate them. Like, I think that'll be a good, we should be coming down to Madrid and testing that, I think.
Okay.
Challenge accepted.
Well, let's say that, I mean, you should be, I mean, very careful when a guest is coming with a preset idea of something. To take them off this idea, it's, I mean, we always train the team. Listen, if a guest asks you for a certain restaurant, book that restaurant. Never say this is not good if you feel that he's, I mean, really focus on this intention. But you can give a background of the place, and if there's something negative really that the guest needs to know, you can give it to them. Only when they give you a little option, window open to put your. I mean, to make your input of where they should go, or if they have more than an option, is where you can definitely explain, no? I mean, unless they ask for something that you really know that it's terrible, I mean, then you should, of course, give, an opinion, but always based on. But if you would like to go there, you will.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you talk about, Borja, all of those different services, you know, the flowers, the transportation, the amenities that you're sort of delivering for guests. What are some of those out of the world experiences that you as an indispensable concierge get to deliver as well within your city?
Well, in fact, now all the big brands, hotel brands, we are looking for experiences, unique experiences that will make the difference. We all said that, I mean, the product of the hotels, I guess in this level, they expect to have a great king size bed, a great room, Michelin stars, but the services will make the difference, and the experiences they live in the hotel or in the destination will make the difference. We are in touch in Madrid, for example, in my hotel with Royal Theatre to make experiences where you get to the background and you visit some rooms that nobody can visit. Same with the football experiences where you make the visits. You can even kick a penalty
that's a great one.
And or experiences related to nature. For example, we got one farm visit where you will see the real countryside of Spain, and within 1 hour from out of Madrid, and you will see the bulls, and you will see the pigs, and then you have a really authentic Spanish countryside meal. So we try to work on experiences connected to or to adventure, familiar ones, or gastronomy, of course. Gastronomy, we got several connected to very unique markets in Madrid. You know, we have these kind of food markets where you go with a guide, they show you the product, then you taste it, and then you go to a Michelin star to finish the experience. So we are every day working, not only Concierge is the operative side, but the marketing and the hotels and the brand. If you enter any main brand, you will see unique experiences. We're working on this, and we do the magic.
So going to Madrid, what are the top 3 things that you've got to do when you go to see your city?
Well, Madrid for me is the perfect combination of culture, gastronomy, and weather. So you should have these 3 on whatever you do. And well, I would suggest definitely to go for tapas. I mean, tapas, we got Michelin star restaurants, traditional ones, but tapas is something that I would say that in Madrid especially, it's rest of Spain as well, but it's quite unique because you have the opportunity to taste it in an area, 3-4 bars, 3-4 different dishes on each. Tapas, as you know, is a kind of a small dish and with a drink, and we got defined different areas in Madrid where even the tapas bars are all kind of related. So I would make you an itinerary of one day tapas in this area, another one in this area, and then in terms of culture, let's say that we got the 3 main museums of Spain. They are all walking distance, but a part of these 3 museums, there are really jewels, really nice museums that you can discover in Madrid. I can give you 3-4 names and make you a special cultural itinerary that's quite interesting as well.
Fantastic. Excellent.
And one more thing, of course, you should come to see the weather. Well, the weather is all connected, but I should talk about football, of course. Just keep in mind that we got the best team of the world and another one which is fine. No, Atletico, which is good as well. And it's true that Madrid, to feel Madrid as a football fan, it's a great experience as well. And we can arrange the best tickets. We can arrange a football experience, a visit to the museum, and that would be also unique.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough at the last Congress to have one of the Real Madrid matches there, and that was just, you can just feel the heart and soul of the sort of city come alive with that. So it was fantastic to sort of experience that in first person as well. So,
it's not just the atmosphere of the stadium, but the city. I mean,
Thank you so much for spending time with us, and I know you're busy and you've got many meetings to go back to. So it's been a pleasure to have you.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.